I'm Greg Jarrett, and you are in the strategy room. Trade is becoming a wedge issue in Maryland's Democratic Senate primary race between Representatives Donna Edwards and Chris Van Hollen. Edwards is now blasting Van Hollen for dragging his feet on a bill that would fast-track the White House's trade agreements, even though he has supported deals in the past. Van Hollen denies this. Here now to talk about it, political strategist Brad Blakeman and Liz Chadderdon. Good to see you both. You know, Brad, this has to be all about two Democrats vying for organized labor and working class votes in Maryland, which is 2-to-1 Democrats registered voters. Is that what this is all about?
That's right. Who's the real Democrat? Who's got the bona fides to be the nominee of their party? That's what this is about. And we're seeing it play out not only in Maryland, in a state very close to this capital, but all over the country. Republicans say the president has taken too much authority, yet they want to give him fast-track authority. Democrats are saying, wait, this isn't good for labor. But I believe Van Hollen just got the endorsement of the Teamsters, and this so far has not been an argument that seems to be his Achilles heel.
Yeah, and he's really outraised
yes.
money over Donna Edwards. But, you know, Liz, I read that Edwards is really trying to position herself as sort of the, you know, Liz Warren liberal firebrand. Well, if so, that's not a bad strategy, is it?
No, it's not a bad strategy at all. The first thing to understand is that primary elections are completely different elections than general elections. It's a different audience. And in this case, it's a very Democratic audience in the state of Maryland, statewide, which, as we've acknowledged, is a very blue state. And Democratic primaries are always about who's the best Democrat, just like Republican primaries are always about who's the best Republican. In the case in Maryland, you get to be the best Democrat. You get to be pretty progressive. You get to be pretty liberal. You're talking to a very blue audience. If I'm Donna Edwards, Congresswoman Edwards, and I'm trying to out-Democrat Congressman Van Hollen, the first thing I want to do is be against this trade agreement, which hurts organized labor as well as ships more jobs overseas.
Yeah, but
so
the flip
it's a
side
very
of that,
good strategy for her.
Brad, the flip side of that, which may be attractive to middle-class voters, is that it brings cheaper goods to consumers, and, you know, they cheer that on.
They do, but as again, you have to be selected by the party before you're elected by the people. It is a very blue state, and the more progressive, the more union you can be in that state, chances are the best likely you are to be selected by the party to run in a general election. So yeah. I think right now Democrats are looking for the best Democrat, and how to out-Democrat the other is really the key to this thing. But again, Van Hollen seems to be being very effective with labor, which takes the wind out of the sails
sure.
of Edwards, as trying to paint him as somebody who has not got organized labor in their best interest.
You know, Liz, I looked it up. Democrats have 56% registered voters in Maryland, the GOP 26%, and yet a couple of recent governors in Maryland, including the current one, are Republicans. Does that worry Democrats, do you think?
You know, I don't think it worries Democrats. And again, this is a primary. It's a very different election. It'll be held in June of 2016, not in November of 2016. Right. And the only people who are going to vote in it are registered Democrats. But whomever comes out of that primary, Van Hollen or Edwards, will they face a tougher general election than they might have normally? I don't think so. It's a presidential year, tends to drive up turnout in a state like Maryland. That generally means more Democrats come to vote. But they would be wise to pay more attention to the 2014 gubernatorial election that elected Republican Governor Larry Hogan, because it was an important thing for the state of Maryland.
Sure.
When most of the independents, and I've seen the numbers, 35% of registered Democrats went in and voted for a Republican. So it would be wise for them to pay attention to those results in November.
Yeah, you know, Brad, I'll let you get the last word in here, but this is a state that by no means Republicans should give up on, should they?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We have a Republican governor, and remember, you can be selected by the party but unelectable by the people, and you can out-Democrat yourself out of being elected in a November general-wide election where everybody's voting. So you have to walk a fine line between getting the nomination of your party and getting elected by the people.
Yeah, just ask Governor Hogan and Bob Ehrlich, maybe Ehrlich.
There you go.
The former governor is going to run. We'll wait and see. Brad and Liz, good to see you both.
Pleasure.
Check out foxnews.com for more on this developing strategy. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.